Hi, and welcome back to Perimenopausal Chats. I'm Gina Liberty, and today I want to talk about not what can you add to your life to make your health foundation strong, but what can you remove? Like, better health does not always mean doing more. We get that crammed down our throats all our lives. So for decades, we've been thinking about what can I do more? What am I doing wrong? All these things. Constantly, we were being told about what to add: more habits, more supplements, more routines, more rules, more protein, more workouts, more cardio, more whatever the case may be. Sometimes adding more is actually making taking care of yourself a lot harder. And that is absolutely the opposite of what we want to do. We don't want to do that, right? What is creating unnecessary pressure in your life? Or friction or overwhelm to where you shut down or you just are griping more than you're doing. And literally, this is my message always. How can we make this easier? I love me an easy button. What can you remove? What can you simplify? What can you automate? What can you stop expecting of yourself? Less can create more consistency and more freedom. So if you're doing less, it causes less friction in your brain and you want to do it more because you feel better doing it, right? And you get freedom from knowing that this is what helps me, not 500 things at the same time, right? And then you're more apt to consistently do it. And then you can build on it later when it feels right to you. Simple does not mean ineffective, not at all. It actually can be more effective if you are consistent, you are simple, because that is what is sustainable for life. For life. And we're not going to stop taking care of ourselves when we get to a certain point, right? If you have, let's say, for instance, you have a weight loss goal and it's to be this many pounds. When you get to this many pounds, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop? Are you going to stop taking care of yourself because you hit that goal? Ideally, no. No. You are going to maintain, which I feel like is the hardest thing to do because that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. But if you set it up now to just be consistent in your habits and your routines that support you, not Sally or not Amanda, but you. It supports your mind, your hormones, your body, because you know, right? We get you to the place where you trust yourself and you trust your intuition and you trust that feeling of, oh, yeah, this actually makes me think clearer, or this makes me sleep better, or this makes me just feel good overall. That is what you choose to support yourself because you know without a shadow of a doubt, you know it's helping you, right? You don't need to ask some guru. You don't need to ask anybody. Trust yourself to do that. Now, yes, this is why I got into coaching, because I am here for proximity, for accountability, because I can get you to the place where you trust yourself again and you're able to do this all on your own and you won't need a coach forever, right? That's a good coach. They teach you how to do these things on your own and then they're not your coach anymore because you don't need a coach. You are your own coach. So what are some things that you can possibly, take out of your life? All these expectations, like how many workouts you need to do, what type of workouts you need to do, what feels good to your body, knowing, yes, that strength training is what we need for as we get older, but you need to start where you are. Someday, maybe you will be a strength training machine. Maybe you start with just small dumbbells just to get into the routine. You don't have to do it all. Remove that expectation. If you have a morning routine or a night routine that you think you have to do 12 different steps and you don't want to do that, do one. Just do one. If the scale is ruling your life and your emotions, don't weigh yourself right now. We will get to that point, right? We can't fix everything at once. There's no fixing. We're just trying to explore and be curious. What helps me the best? What makes me feel the best? Because somebody else's version of healthy is not your version of healthy. Somebody else's strong routines, strong foundation is not your strong foundation. We are all different. We can grab bits and pieces, but we only keep the things that support our minds, bodies, and hormones. Not just because somebody else said it helps them and it works for everybody, because not everything works for everybody. Yes, there are key foundational pieces, but they look different for everyone. It just depends on what feels good and what supports you the best. I would love to know if this resonated with you, and I would love to know if you struggle with this or if you think you have this down pat. I would love to hear that. I'm going to put my community link in the description below. I would love for you to come over and join us in talking about all these types of things. We can bring up anything because we're going through all of it, and it affects all of us in our own ways, right? And we want to support each other, encourage each other, and help however we can. So until next time, remember that something is better than nothing, and we will chat soon.